Welcome back to another video, and it is the end of the week, so welcome back to another episode of Movie News, where I talk about any movie news at the moment and anything movie related. CinemaCon was this week, where studios like Warner Brothers, Lionsgate, Paramount, Disney, and Universal come together to show their new upcoming films with new trailers and announcements. And the first studio at CinemaCon we're going to talk about is Warner Brothers. For Warner Brothers, we got a new official trailer for Joker, Fala, Deux. Before we get into the new trailer, I want to mention that the first Joker is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. The Murray show scene is a masterpiece. The movie's dark, it's disturbing, it's emotional. The stairs scene, the amazing ending. So yeah, everything about that first film I love, and I cannot wait for the second installment. And this trailer was incredible. The music, the cinematography, Lady Gaga is looking amazing as Harley Quinn. Joaquin Phoenix is looking incredible as always. This is gonna be a new trailer that I'm addicted to and I can't stop rewatching. The people at CinemaCon also got an exclusive look at Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Sadly, we didn't get to see it, but someone that did had this really exciting tweet. They weren't joking. So many of these gags and jokes are executed through practical effects. Michael Keaton rips his belly open to reveal hundreds of snake puppets. An animatronic Beetlejuice head with his eyes popping out is Tim Burton cooking here. Which, if you didn't see my last video, I talked about how I hope Beetlejuice 2 has a lot more practical effects just like the original. And by looking at this tweet, it's looking like that's the case, and I am so excited for it.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't.
For Warner Brothers, we also got an update on M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Trap. I really like M. Night Shyamalan. The Sixth Sense and The Village are really good. I also really enjoyed The Visit. But he's also made Old and The Happening and even The Last Airbender, so I guess you can say he's a hit and miss. But his new film Trap will be set in a concert. There is footage they showed at CinemaCon, and the footage starts with a dad and his daughter attending a concert before he heads off to the restroom upon noticing that there is heavy police presence. The dad finds out from a fellow attendee that the concert is a trap to catch a serial killer. The big twist is that the dad is the serial killer, and it is revealed on his phone that he's holding a victim hostage. I will say a horror movie set in a concert sounds like a blast. Moving on to Universal, BlumHouse announced that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will set to come out on fall of 2025. Earlier this week, we also had a first look at the miniatures they're working on for Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and it's looking like they're working on Mangle, which actually has me excited because even though I'm not a die-hard fan of the franchise, I have played most of the video games, and from watching the first Five Nights at Freddy's film, I really missed the horror elements from the video games, and Mangle is looking like they could easily bring back a lot more horror elements in the sequel. At CinemaCon, they also showed a teaser trailer for Nosferatu, and it was described as moody, unsettling, and also eerily beautiful. It's not just artful, there's also blood gushing from necks. It's a vampire movie after all. I'm a huge fan of Nosferatu. I even just changed into this shirt. Nosferatu. Nosferatu! And I'm also a huge fan of Robert Eggers, so I'm pumped to see his take on the story. Another film Universal talked about is The Wolf Man, which is a reimagining of the Universal classic Wolf Man. I'm a huge fan of the Universal monsters, and I'm loving these new takes on the creatures. We had The Invisible Man in 2019, which was a modern take on the classic 1933 film, The Invisible Man. And the Wolfman's plot has been revealed to be about a dad whose family is stalked by a dangerous predator, and that predator is the dad himself. So it'll be like a mom and daughter against the dad who's becoming the Wolfman. And I actually love that idea that the dad wants to protect his family, but he's becoming the threat. Fun fact, if I ever have a chance to make a movie one day, I would do a reimagining of the creature from the Black Lagoon, because he's my favorite of the Universal monsters, and I think a remake of the creature from the Black Lagoon would be awesome. Moving on to Lionsgate, they announced that Saw 11 will be pushed back to 2025, which is sad to hear, but it's good that they're taking their time and they're not just cranking it out for the money. And they actually gave audiences a first look at the Michael Jackson biopic. From CinemaCon, the trailer began with a look at the Jackson 5 performing ABC on TV, and then it cuts to the 1990s era concert of Jackson performing Man in the Mirror. It was revealed that the project will include more than 30 songs, And it was teased that the movie will be really long in order to do the music star's story justice. Musical biopics have always been like my comfort genre. I even have the books of how they were made. Moving to Paramount, we actually got a lot of interesting stuff. They announced a new Smurfs movie. They also announced a new SpongeBob movie called SpongeBob: The Search for SquarePants. We got a little idea of the plot of the movie, and it follows SpongeBob as he travels into the depths of the ocean to face the ghost of the Flying Dutchman. They also showed a first look at Transformers 1, which is an origin story, how Optimus Prime and Megatron went from best friends to enemies. Lastly, Paramount confirmed that there will be a live-action Ninja Turtle film called The Last Ronin, which is a comic about the last surviving Ninja Turtle, where he watched his brothers and Master Splinter die in a war against the Foot Clan, leading him to adopt the role of the Last Ronin, seeking revenge against those who murdered his family. And this new live-action film will be rated R. Just the fact that we're getting a new live-action Ninja Turtles movie and it's rated R, oh my god, I'm already in. The Last Ronin is also in my list of comic books I want to read. I used to read a lot of comics, and I think my favorite comic book is Batman Year One, and I also really like the Umbrella Academy comics. Yeah, they're pretty good. I'll definitely get back into reading comics because I want to read The Last Ronin because it sounds great. And the last studio at CinemaCon was Disney, and they actually have a lot of really exciting stuff. They showed new footage of Deadpool and Wolverine. Some highlights of the footage they got was there's a scene where Deadpool and Wolverine are in a car together, and Deadpool is making fun of Wolverine's suit, and the footage ends with Deadpool running to the camera and grabbing a mic and saying, "Suck it, Fox, I'm going to Disneyland, get effed." Which gets me so excited for all the Disney jokes we're gonna get in Deadpool and Wolverine because I know there's gonna be a lot. Kevin Feige also said this about the film.
I hope you don't mind if I say it's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. And the reason I can say it's fucking awesome is because it's an R-rated movie.
So it's looking like Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna be awesome. Disney also showed a special look at Alien Romulus, which has me extremely jealous. But in the footage, that a creature jumps out and tries to hug someone's face, but gets launched into the glass. Another jumps off a frozen body onto another face, jabbing its legs into its mouth and eyes. The crew tries to close the door behind them to escape, but one of the aliens gets through, prompting them to swat it back into the glass, which cracks and lets them all in. In the end, one of the crew gets wrecked in the face by one of the facehuggers. In another clip, a character is not feeling well and grips their chest. The device to see through the body is used, showing the alien trying to break out of their ribs. They collapse, foam out of the mouth, convulse, and accidentally kick the ship into motion before the alien bursts out of their chest. It's bloody. The ship continues floating until it eventually crashes into a bigger one. Oh my god, I cannot wait for Alien Romulus. They actually just announced the popcorn bucket, and it's so cool. Oh my god. The original Ridley Scott Alien is one of my favorite films of all time, and this is becoming my most anticipated movie of the year. They also showed a third of Inside Out 2, which is insane. Instead of them making a new trailer, they just flat out showed the first half hour of the film. They also showed a teaser for Mufasa, which is a spinoff of The Lion King, and a trailer for Moana 2, which sadly I have no interest in, but if you're excited for, that's totally cool. Which, by the way, they're also working on a live-action remake of Moana set to come out in 2026, which makes no sense because I don't know why you would make a remake of a Disney film that already has an upcoming sequel to the original. And the original wasn't even that long ago. Here, wait, when did Moana come out? Well, I guess that's 7 years, but whatever. But yeah, that was my little breakdown of CinemaCon. I know I didn't go over everything the studios announced, I just went over the major highlights because I didn't want to be too overwhelming. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Man, I forgot how good this comic was. I'm gonna have to read this again.